Hey everybody, it's Christina from Creations with Christina, and I wanted to show you a little project that I worked on this weekend. I made a box, and I got the idea and the instructions for this box from a Live with Prima show. It was Marion Smith. She made a travel journal box, and I really liked the idea of the box, and I wanted to be able to make something that I can use to keep some sketch ideas and project ideas in. So I used the instructions that were on the Live with Prima show, and what I did was I used all October afternoon pattern paper, and I went outside my comfort zone and went with 3 different pattern papers, and usually just maybe 1 or 2. So I really loved how this came out. My paper is from October afternoon, and I used collection, a couple different collections from the October afternoon. Detours was one of them, Fly a Kite, Cherry Hill, and Thrift Shop. And there's also another pattern paper on the inside, so actually I used 4 different pattern papers. So so basically what I did was after I covered my box, I went ahead and inked the edges with Tim Holtz Walnut Stain Distress ink, and then I did some flowers on the top, and these are from I Am Roses. And at first I wanted to do a tan color on the top, and then once I had the tan done I really didn't like it, so what I did was first I sprayed with Old Lace and then what was Caramel Apple Glimmer Mist, and when I didn't really like that I threw Peppermint Stick on top of that color, and I really liked the color that these came out. So I colored with 3 of those flowers, and then I added some leaves in the back, and I just glued those down. And then the ribbon that I have on here is just a piece of satin ribbon, and I wrapped it all the way around the box, and I did glue it down with some score tape just to make sure it stays in place. And I punched a hole right in the center of this flap and used a extra large grommet, and my satin ribbon feeds through my grommet to keep it closed. So I'm just going to go ahead and untie this so I could show you what I did. Basically what I did was my top piece is loose, and then my bottom piece that comes up from the bottom of the box goes through the grommet. And that's how I tied it closed. So on the inside of my box, I put, I used gray paper. This is the gray polka dot. This is also from October afternoon. And then I made 3 journals to go on the inside. So, but just to show you quickly the inside of the box. So that was the box. And now for my journals, what I did was I wanted to make a couple different books that I can use to write project ideas down in, and also start keeping track of my sketches that I do for cards. So I made these, and what I did was I just took some chipboard and covered it with the same pattern paper that I used for my box. And the books measure 4 1/4 by 3 1/4. And then what I did was I bound those, I'm sorry, the book is actually 4 1/2 by 3 1/2. And then I bound it with my my cinch. And for the letters, what I did was these are Thickers raw chipboard, and I've had these forever. I found them really cheap at Big Lots once, and I bought a whole bunch of them, and I love them because when I do stuff like this, I can, you know, emboss them or stain them or do whatever color I want them to be. So I embossed these with the white embossing powder, and I just spelled out sketches, and I'm going to keep start keeping track of my different card layouts that I do. So what I did was I just cut some cardstock down to measure, and to fit inside the book, and I just measured this to be about 1/4 of an inch smaller than the front pages of my book. So that's my sketches one. And then I also did one for projects, and what I did was I just added a piece of lace growing across the top, and then I put 3 little white roses, mini roses, right in the front. And then for projects I also did the raw chipboard, except for this one I embossed with Walnut Stain Distress ink. And then I also inked the edges of all of these with Walnut Stain Distress ink. So the fronts or the back covers are just covered with a brown chipboard, or brown cardstock. And then I have one more book that I didn't do anything with because I'm going to save this in case I need it for maybe more sketch ideas or need it for projects or something. So it's just an extra book for inside the box. So these fit inside my box perfectly. Just like that. And then I even have room for another book or 2 if I wanted to make another book. And what you do is I'll show you how I close this, is I just take the bottom piece of my satin ribbon and feed it through my grommet. And then I'll just go ahead and tie a bow. It's not the best bow, but it's good for right now. So that's my project from this past weekend. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I'll leave a link to the instructions from the Live with Prima Ustream show. Thanks for watching another episode of Creations with Christina.